Welcome back to the Web3 rundown. We can't wait to break down all the fun stuff here today. I got my guy Joe on the line, and we're going to talk Bitcoin, we're going to talk meme coins, we're going to talk NFTs. Joe, how you doing today?
I'm good. Excited. Let's go.
Yeah, totally, man. And it's been a pretty interesting a couple of days since our last show. We were talking last week. Are we going to hit $100,000 Bitcoin? We haven't hit it yet, but we are damn close. Still chopping in that 96,000 range. We have the fear and greed meter right around a 78. Bitcoin dominance down a little bit, right around 54. And we'll talk a little bit more in depth why that's happening, but really want to jump in and talk about since early November, Joe, since the election. Tyler wrote a great article here that when Trump came into the White House, that we've seen over $1 trillion flow into the cryptocurrency market. Some big numbers there, and we've seen it, flow into the majors, memes, and some old dusty 2017 cryptos, huh?
Yeah, we can segue into that real quickly. A lot of people are talking about how those 2016, 2017 older ICO plays like EOS, if anyone remembers, raised billions of dollars, did nothing. XRP, no technical upgrade, but has pumped 500% since this last Thanksgiving, which was last week. XLM, we're talking about all these old school nostalgia, not meme coins, even though I like to call them meme coins, pop off. And a lot of people are saying that it's because it's easy, right? It's listed on exchanges already. Everyone knows about it. There's a cult-like following. It's easier to pump those than, all the AI coins out there or PVPs out there. And that's kind of what we're seeing. Interesting times.
Yeah, for sure. It took me by surprise. I've never been a big XRP guy, but I do have some friends that aren't that deep into the crypto world that have held that bag longer than they probably even want to admit. So really happy for, the XRP, the old cryptos that, the Stellar Lumens out there that popped off. And Joe, you made a great point. It's a lot easier to buy those coins. They're on centralized exchanges, and that's what we're hoping happens with a lot of meme coins out there. But these are on centralized exchanges, and they have cult-like followings. And as we know, if you get a backing in any coin, it can absolutely start ripping. But I want to talk a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about all the fun stuff. We're going to talk about meme coins, but we're going to talk a little bit more about Bitcoin. ETFs hit a $6.4 billion inflows in November. Absolute huge numbers there, and it's not slowing down by any means. Still chopping between 90 and 100 grand, but honestly, I think we're only a couple days, maybe a couple weeks away from hitting that key number. And we've actually seen in this past month, it was the biggest ever price gain in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, and one thing we always talk about, Joe, I know we've had some interviews with some hedge fund managers as well. Everyone talks about the supply issue with Bitcoin.
Mhm.
I'd love for you to kind of share your thoughts there, because Bitcoin we can't create anymore, and exchanges are running around trying to get their hands on as much as they can right now.
Yeah, I'm a big ETF guy. So those who don't know, the spot ETF, Bitcoin ETFs, they have to have an equivalent reserve of Bitcoin. So it's not just tracking the price, it's actually holding Bitcoin as a reserve. And supply crunch is has always been thrown around, but a lot of people are saying this is the first time with all these inflows that we're seeing that there might actually be a supply crunch. And just to give some perspective, some people are calling for $1 million Bitcoin this upcoming year. And it sounded crazy, right? In the beginning of 2024. A lot of people don't think it's that crazy anymore, including myself. I thought a Bitcoin reserve was crazy, but it seems like we're really tracking towards that. And just to give an idea, like a US is looking to, trade our gold reserve for a Bitcoin, so we don't have to issue new debt, right? And for Bitcoin right now is at $2 trillion market cap. We're not too far from gold's 11 trillion. So we're about like a 6x away, which would make Bitcoin $400,000 a piece if Bitcoin were to track to gold's market cap. So that's what we're looking at here. And all these crazy numbers doesn't sound crazy to me, is what I'm getting at. It's an interesting time.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting time, and we're here for it. If Bitcoin soars like that, the entire cryptocurrency market is going to do a complete facelift. And one guy that's still bullish is our boy Michael Saylor at MicroStrategy. He bought another 15.4 thousand Bitcoins at an average price of right around 96,000 per Bitcoin. So if you ever thought Michael Saylor didn't have enough Bitcoin, you were wrong because they're still buying Bitcoin. We've heard a lot of news about it. Is that bearish? Is that bullish? And there's a lot of good perspectives there, and we're not going to take a lot of time there. But at the end of the day, it's a really smart guy, a major company that's absolutely piling loads of cash into Bitcoin. And he believes that we're going to probably see that number Joe's talking about, 400,000, 1 million, and even higher.
Yeah,
So that, oh, go ahead, Joe.
I did want to touch about Sailor because we're seeing more and more talks about Sailor and his strategy, and more so now than ever, like a major news agencies and whatnot. And yeah, it definitely is something that's caught mainstream. Whether everyone's keeping a close eye if MicroStrategy, if their strategy is actually going to be viable. And a lot of people are utilizing that to hedge the Bitcoin market. They're looking to get into a new type of market, believe it or not. I'm not sure if you heard this, Brian, but he's creating a new bond market in America. And the bond market's 140 trillion. And he's looking to flip that upside his head because his bonds are outperforming all bonds. So I know we're Web3 rundown, we talk about that, but that's kind of like a proxy in. If you got money waiting on the sidelines, take a look into that because that's a very interesting play.
Yeah, it's that's extremely interesting, Joe. We're gonna have to talk a little bit more offline about that because I want to hear even more. But let's jump over to some of the fun stuff, some things I know a lot of people tune in for, and let's
Yeah.
talk meme coins. One of the most popular meme coins, Joe. I
Woo!
know it's one of your favorite out there. Good old baby Moodang. What's it
Yeah.
stand for again?
Bouncy pork?
Bouncy pork. Yeah, bouncy pork. I got caught a listing on Coinbase and it was up 80% in an hour, continued to rip. I think around $600 million market cap, some huge numbers there. And the most amazing thing is, I actually wrote it down, is that they were doing some, I'll have to find it. They were doing some insane volumes, just absolutely insane volumes in perps. Moondang, yeah, I think it was double whatever Pepe was at one point.
Ooh,
It was like $5
wow.
billion in perps. I think Pepe was like 2.5 billion, but insane numbers. That's a huge bullish. It caught me off guard, not off guard. We knew Moondang was going to more likely catch a centralized exchange listing, but the thing that I was most surprised about is that it's only 2.5 months old. It was launched somewhere in the middle of September. And it's kind of Coinbase kind of drags their feet. It took them a year to
Yeah.
launch Pepe. It took them a while to launch Dog with Hat, even with a higher price point. But it seems like they're softening their stance. What's your feelings here with Coinbase and listing some of these blue chip memes?
Yeah, I'm excited about what they're going to list. So we knew they're going to list Mudeng eventually because Gemini did it. So I'm glad we caught that leg up and we made that call to our private community even before any exchanges because Bouncy Pork is just so he's an actual hippo. I don't think some people might not even know that he's an actual hippo. They might just think he's a meme coin based off a fictional character, but he's got a 24-hour live stream, so I can't wait for him to make some news so we could pump some more.
Talk to me. You're thinking that Coinbase is going to list a few more major memes. I think this is a great indication as well. If we're seeing, one that's not even 3 months old catch a listing, they're obviously have their eyes on meme coins right now. And there will be a time when, a lot of it's going to be oversaturated, in my opinion, that it won't hit the news as hard with every new Coinbase listing, because I do believe they'll probably start listing more and more. But we are in a very interesting time right now where the next few are going to absolutely pump. Give the viewers some alpha. Do you have any like close to your heart that you think could catch a listing?
Yeah, anything that we talked about the last 2 weeks on a rundown. I mean, it's not no secret that this rundown moves markets. Everything we call seems to pump up. We talked about Chill Guy. I mean, that's probably everyone's favorite that's going to be listed. Most likely, it's a TikTok favorite. And then also an AI coin of sorts. We talked about GOAT. That's most likely going to be listed. I mean, we can't say for sure, but following our projections, we're looking at those two as kind of the next ones up in terms of like the highest percentage being listed.
Yeah, I think that's spot on, Joe. I think Chill Guy and Goat are going to catch a Coinbase listing. I'd be very surprised if they do not. And that's a reason why we're pretty bullish on it on this show, our personal bags, and recommending it to our private community. Goat's kind of taken a few AI coins have taken a back seat this past week to some of these like old, like we said, dusty altcoins from back in 2017. But it's bouncing back, and Goat just tells such a strong story. So I think Goat and Chill Guy definitely catch a bid. How about Joe, what are your thoughts on like virtuals? I know we're talking a little bit about it later in the show, but with their connection with the base ecosystem, with the AI agents, kind of feels like virtuals could catch a listing as well, huh?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, definitely Coinbase launched Base and Virtuous on Base. I think the Base people just got a little bit bored, so they pumped up not only virtuals, we called it at, I don't know, 200 million is at 1.5. So that's what
It was
7x from
low.
when we talked about it on the show. And then we also talked about, some other ones like Brett, and Brett's made a new all-time high. Yeah, I think that people in the Ethereum world, they don't have too many choices. Actually, they got Pepe, they got Doge, they got Brett on base, and yeah. So Virtuals was definitely surprised us because we knew it was gonna get there eventually, but it got there real quick.
Yeah, it got there really quick, and that's the talk of the town right now, our AI agents, and it's actually wearing me out a little bit because there's a new agent uh popping off every single week here, and I've loved a few, like Cerebro I liked, but we've seen a correction there. Some AI meme coins I've liked, but there's not a lot of them that are like really changing the game. They're very like almost copy paste of one another. But
Mm.
they're pumping, money's flowing into it, but it just feels like a game of hot potato. You're kind of passing around what's the hottest AI agent, and you can do well, but it's difficult to predict. But I'm sharing my screen here for everyone. AI XBT actually flipped Cerebro, which was like the leading AI agent out there, hitting an all-time high. And really, it's one of the more popular. I don't know, Joe, if you follow it too often. It's one of the best value AI agents, in my opinion. It like takes all the talk tracks on Twitter, what everyone's buzzing about in the AI space, and it engages in it. It gives it a pretty digestible format, and it's pretty valuable information. It at least gives you a mid-curve take of what's happening in the AI space. So I feel like AI XBT has been providing some value, but one reason it popped off, and what the tweet here says, it actually created its own token called Chaos, actually with help with some other people in the space, but it did create it on its own in just a really unique way it created it. Chaos pumped up, I think, to a $25 million market cap immediately after it was created. Have you been following that story at all?
Just, I mean, as it unfolded just recently, everything's new in the world of Web3, meme coins, and NFTs. Yeah, I followed it, and that's exciting and scary at the same time. I'm waiting for the first. Well, now that we have the first, actual creation of a meme coin and sending as a tip, we had that before, right? But having a meme
Mhm.
coin developed by an AI agent itself was something that never happened before. And it's just something that I like the chaos. I understand what you're saying. Investing is tough, right? Because there's new narratives every week. But just seeing it unfold in the world of web, bringing it all together might actually provide some different use cases in the future. So definitely keep it in close eye. I can't wait for the first like in real life kind of transaction to happen, meaning not Web3, meaning like, when big someone ordered a pizza with Bitcoin, like when's that going to happen with AI, right? What coin or what AI agent will that be? That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that's a good take. Like an AI agent's like in real life utilization, without any intervention would be pretty cool. But we have these AI agents exchanging and tipping each other and now talking with each other. And I believe, I don't want to get the story too off, but I believe the AI XBT actually had another AI agent recommend it to create a coin and gave it like this simi platform. And then it went and created it on its own. So these agents are having conversations just like people out there, helping each other grow. But again, it's a game of hot potato, and I've got kind of caught up in the AI agent, passing back and forth. I've seen several, like when Cerebro was kind of like creating art and NFT projects and music and releasing music on Apple. That's impressive stuff. AI XBT creating this token is very interesting. It's doing something a little different than some of these other agents. But then there's another slew of agents out there that are kind of just like regurgitating the same thing. It's essentially a glorified chatbot. But we've only really been talking about like AI and crypto and meme coins for a couple weeks now. And every week something new happens. So I know the space is going to continue to grow, but personally, from an investment thesis and my own personal investment thesis and what we talk about with our private community, I think kind of loading your bags into more established AI sectors, infrastructure, possibly the GOAT token makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you hit it. You said it. The shovel, right? The platforms like virtuals. We got a couple more that I want to talk to our group about. I mean, there's hedge fund AIs now where you can invest into an AI hedge fund. So definitely that's I wouldn't say the safer play, but definitely there are plays that we are making in this AI space, and it's exciting.
Awesome stuff.
Cool. Well, there's been some rumblings this last weekend. Good and also, not so great, but overall great in the NFT world. Let's share what's been going on is that NFTs have been popping off, not dead. 100% growth for a lot. Some of these, Bored Ape moved up substantially. Mutant Ape and Pudgy. What about Pudgy Penguins? Almost a 15 Ethereum floor. That is amazing. So we're seeing this across the board, not only on Ethereum, but Bitcoin and Base. So yeah, what's your thoughts on NF in the world of NFTs right now, Brian?
Yeah, we saw pop off some of these blue chip NFTs. Thank you, because I've actually held some of these NFTs all the way through the mud. And it's nice to get, hosed off a little bit and have some of these prices go up. But it's amazing. Punks are popping off, Pudgy Penguins are popping off. Bored Ape, like you said, was a 25 ETH over the weekend. And ETH is going up too. So it's kind of a leverage play on ETH as well. Kind of like the reason why a lot of people got into NFTs, in the last cycle is they were bullish on ETH, but NFTs were increasing in both ETH price and dollar price. So it's great to see that some of these NFTs are back. And my personal opinion is I'm not fully there yet with, diving down the rabbit hole of chasing new NFT mints. But just because the volume isn't even close to where we were in 2021 and when we were in true NFT bull run, but I'm encouraged seeing, 5, 10x the volume increase every single day. People are starting to, feel rich again. People are starting to kind of look at some of these blue chip NFT projects like Bored Apes, like Punks, and they're like, hey, I want to get some exposure to this before the next run. And I think that's what's happening. But personally, new mints, unless it's a very well established like Web3 game or very interesting artist, I haven't really been diving too deep.
Yeah, same here. I'm curious because most of my network was curious about who's pumping these NFTs. But apparently, there are a lot of people got really, a lot of liquidity or successful over this last few months. Obviously, they want to rotate in some plays, and it seems like these NFTs are popping off. I do need to give a shout out, or I'm not even sure if it's a shout out, but I do need to share some news, bittersweet news. Artifact, which was acquired by Nike, it's finally closing its doors after 3 years. It kind of shaped the space, in my opinion, with digitals. I'm wearing a digital right now, which is from Adidas. It's tagged with an NFC chip. And a lot of people are sad, but also happy about this because they're looking at this as a new beginning. Of course, a Pudgy Penguin holder is looking to buy it for $10 million and looking to make it the next Pudgy Penguins because it's just got such a great, I want to say story, but it's such great collaborations, artwork, and it's holding a steady floor of $1,000 minimum, like $1,200 after the company shut down. So people are buying this up. Like they're holding it because they like the art. I like the art personally. And I don't have many thoughts on this. Personally, it's just a chapter closed. And I think the owners probably wanted to buy it back from Nike, but I don't think Nike would have sold it back to them for pennies on a dollar. So they had to divest it. So I'm really looking forward to this being a community project and taking over. I just had to give it a shout out because that's kind of how I started my journey here in YouTube and the world of Web3. And it really did change my life.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the Artifact and Clone X. I've dove down deep with, their Nike connection in some of their like, shoes. And I did own a Clone X for quite some time back in the day. But it's a bummer to kind of see it go down. But you kind of hit the nail on the head. There could be there it could do if any projects could do it, that project could do it as like a pudgy penguin resurrection. Just because they have a pretty strong community that's, always supported their project. The art's cool and it would tell a good story. So I'm excited to see how it develops. And I'm really happy that it didn't go straight to zero. I'm happy to see it's like trading still with a pretty nice premium right now. And it's definitely something I'm gonna keep my eyes on.
Yeah, they did make one announcement on that long thread. They are going to have one last surprise mint on December. Not really a mint, it's a reveal of their Monolith X box. So just FYI, I think that box is going for maybe like $100 right now. So if anyone wants like a really, if they want to do a really crazy play, then check that out. Who knows what it's going to be? Who knows? Just an FYI for anyone watching. One thing I do want to touch on that people are really bullish on is Magic Eden Diamonds, believe it or not. I mean, look at all the chains they're supporting. Base, we got Ape Chain, we got Polygon, we got Bitcoin, we got Solana, and it's going to be launching sometime in December, right, Brian? And right now, the pre-market is valuing it. Check this out. Since we talked about it, maybe because we talked about it, as always on the rundown, we pump things up. It's pumped like 300% to like $3.45. I mean, not bad. 60,000 in the last 24 hours, 1.8 million in total volume in a pre-market, meaning this thing hasn't even launched. People are valuing this thing each diamond at $3.45. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I love stimmy packages, and I think it's going to really help the entire ecosystem. And I do believe it could, help support, it could help support the upcoming NFT bull run if there is one. This is like kind of the first step is getting people airdrop money for transacting on NFT platforms. We actually saw this playbook kind of happen in 2021 with ENS names. ENS gave everyone a pretty fat airdrop. Looks Rare gave everyone a pretty fat airdrop. SOS gave everyone a pretty big airdrop, and people started buying NFTs and buying more speculative assets. So this Magic Eden airdrop, I'm excited for it because I definitely have some diamonds. I don't think it's going to be quite that high when it comes out, but who knows? It's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars, and people are going to more likely rotate that back into NFTs, meme coins, and just back into the crypto market.
Yeah, I feel you. I hope that Stimmy is gonna really help out them. I mean, the market's already moving, which is great, but definitely would love to see some fun aspects of the NFT world back personally, as that's kind of where I kind of grew in this space. I did want to share an interesting NFT project that launched off of the number one runes, Dog Go to the Moon, sitting at a pretty decent price, about $600 of this writing. It was holding $1,000 floor not too long ago. And I just give a shout out to kind of what's happening in the world of NFTs. So this dog, Rune, which is a meme coin on Bitcoin, is looking to basically sell out 10,000 plushies. And they've already sold out about 2,000 of them, which is really cool. But with the purchase of a plushie, you can redeem an NFT. And people have absolutely been gobbling this up. This is not created by the founder themselves. So just a community project. So really ambitious go ahead to sell 10,000 plushies. Looking to support the ecosystem. And just interesting to see that in the world of memes, NFTs are still pushing forward. They got a lot of stuff coming forward. So not necessarily a signal to go buy, but definitely kind of what's moving and shaking right now is meme coins launching NFTs. And I know we are not only solid with Bitcoin meme coins, but we're also seeing that with Solana and with Ethereum as well.
Did you get a plushie?
They're sold out, so I'm waiting for the next launch so that I can have a updated refresh background. So yes, I will be getting a plushie. Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I know we're big dog fans, so I figured we need a plushie back there on the wall.
Yeah, well, I got the cat. I haven't painted it yet. The $1 billion cat right there. Got a 3D print. That's another interesting community aspect. They have 3D print files out there for you to really, share your love for any community that you want to be a part of. And yeah, I've been before, just full transparency, I wasn't in the mean streets of Telegram or Discord for meme coins, but I am now. So lots changed this last week, Brian. I'm in there. I'm like, I never thought I'd be in there because like who wants to be in, they're talking about meme coins, but I'm in there checking it out. It's got some interesting characters in there. And some of them got some cool community members and making some cool stuff. So that's one of the cool things is the 3D printed cat glasses. I got you up here.
I love it. I appreciate that. I really do, man. I when we saw that Ski God had that, we were like, we need those glasses. Big billion-dollar cat fans.
Yep, yep. Last thing we want to go over, is just basically the call that we made, right? So let's talk about virtuals really quickly. I mean, just look at it. It's a beautiful move up. I mean, I would like to say it moved up even crazier in the last 24 hours. But yeah, it's sitting at a $1.5 billion market cap for the virtuals protocol. It kind of has a flywheel, meaning that, you need the virtuals protocol for your AI agents to run. So it's kind of like a feedback loop, because the AI agents obviously going to pump their own platform. And there's definitely other platforms out there, but where are we looking at here in terms of Virtuals Protocol and AI? I know you got you're looking into a lot of AI sectors, Brian. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've gone down the rabbit hole of this AI sector. Like I said, kind of cooling off on the AI agents just because it really needs to be a very captivating agent, I think, to grab the attention that's needed to drive it to like big numbers. But certainly there, Virtual is the platform was a great call by you. That was what a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. It's actually went up 100% over the past week. So this since our last rundown show, it's 100% up. $1.5 billion market cap. Part of me really believes that Coinbase is going to list that eventually because of, the connection it has with Base and Coinbase and just the massive amount of trading that's happening on it. One thing that's really interesting about virtuals is those AI agents are priced in both ETH and the virtual token. So they move up just as fast as, as the virtual token goes up. Those AI agents are popping off because they're priced as well in the virtual token. So there's an interesting scenario there where, virtual's platforms popping off and it's carrying a lot of the agents with it. I've been going down the rabbit hole, like I said, in that AI world, and I think it's going to continue to pop off. Really excited to see how it develops.
Yeah. On that note, what you just said about the Ethereum pairing, Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin in this last week, I believe, in terms of growth. So it makes sense why these NFT projects are popping off, why Base is popping off, why even Virtual's popping off, because Ethereum, they like to keep, well, not Ethereum, a lot of people like to keep it in the same ecosystem. Similarly with XRP, we're not telling anyone to buy any, but XRP pumped in. What do we see? Meme coins on XRP flying through the roof. So not surprised actually with the price movement in Ethereum recently that we see this upside too.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think we've talked about this on the rundown as well that we thought there was going to be a base season, a base meme season. You've talked about it extensively in the private community and gave some great calls. We saw naturally that some trickle over from the Solana meme coin world was going to go over to base. And that seems to be happening right now, but a lot of it's under this AI umbrella. Just exciting stuff. And you mentioned the XRP memes. Did you buy any XRP memes?
I did not because it felt like exactly what you mentioned to me earlier. It felt like the Tron kind of trap where you transfer a bridge over and then it pumps and then it just crashes. And it definitely feels like that for XRP. So I personally did not get it.
Yeah, I'm thrilled for people who got in and were had their XRP and were able to make, a good amount of movement. But when that was happening over the weekend, Joe, I did get a little bit of FOMO, had to fight it off, and I just kind of like told myself, this is a trade that I'm okay to miss. And sometimes that's okay, I would have had to have done so much swapping Solana or Ethereum for XRP, utilizing a Telegram bot to buy it. And at the end of the day, I was like, you just can't be everywhere. FOMO can't get the best of you. So I'm okay with missing that trade. It seems like it's peeling back already as well. So I think it might have been a good call to avoid for both of us.
Yeah, this wasn't planned, but if people do want some alpha now in XRP, now that I'm thinking about it, since there's not too many base, plays, if people want to get in on a cat coin and a dog coin, I'll give one out right now for free. So Mr. Migos is a cat that was campaigned for their NFT project, to onboard a lot of people to mint. It was a free mint. So Mr. Migos is one. Check that out. And then if you guys want a dog play on base, there is Russell, which is Brian Armstrong's dog. So each one of them is pretty low market cap. But if you guys want to check those out, that's a freebie for everybody.
Not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. This is educational purposes only. Whatever disclaimer you can come up with in your head, Joe is saying that out loud as well.
Yeah. 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 There's another cat, Toshi. That I think that's actual Brian Armstrong's cat that's pumped. So that's might be a better play than Mr. Migos. But if people want to check out some stuff on base, that's why I wanted to share.
Yeah. Yeah, base has a lot of hot movers right now. I think Solana always is, for the meme coin world is very interesting. And again, Joe, you said this wasn't planned, but I kind of want to ask you some questions here. How do
Yeah.
you think meme coins are going to develop? We saw a pullback over the last week with like the XRPs and the Stellar Lumens kind of taking some liquidity from the meme coin world. And it slowed down, but we see that kind of slowing down and maybe trickling back into meme coins. There seems to be kind of a fight here, not a fight, but an effort between Solana and Base now pumping off with meme coins. What are your feelings for the entire market? Do you think we're going to have a long time of running with the meme coin super cycle, or it's cooling off?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that meme coins definitely aren't going anywhere. I think Solana personally versus Base, Solana is definitely winning here, and Base is just, looking to compete. But I don't think they're getting a foothold at all, at all. Like Solana is the mean streets, Ethereum, and then I'm more looking like Base and Bitcoin more as a competition. I believe Bitcoin is really going to win out that fight. So on meme coins on platform, then Solana number one, and then Ethereum, and then Bitcoin, and then Base last. And I don't think the rotations are done yet. So definitely we're going to see some choppiness across. Just people are just trying. People are just bored right now. Like Bitcoin made this super leg up, right? And now a lot of people who made money on meme coins, a lot of people are hearing that FOMO and they're like, oh, we need to catch some moves. So whether it be like 2016 meme coins or ICOs back then, or meme coins on XRP or on Base or Solana, whatever it is, a lot of people are just kind of like they're reaching further than they should, in my opinion. So we're gonna potentially see a correction. Now that I'm saying everything out loud, because not everything is gonna pop off. Definitely not. And then we're gonna see some reconsolidation, some clean. We're gonna see some cleanup, right? I think that's what we're looking at, right, Brian? Like there's so much that's come on board. We're gonna see a major flush, and then people can rotate back into the top ones. Bonk, looking at you with, and some other ones on some different platforms. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I like those thoughts. I think there'll always be clear market winners out of every cycle. In some of these meme coins, there's going to be clear winners, and very similar to NFTs. And then a lot of them will get washed out. So everyone has to be so careful when you're investing in these meme coins because one day it could be telling a great story, make a ton of sense, pumping tons of volume, and the next day go to zero. And that's going to happen to a lot of these coins. And Joe and I are very aware of it. We're talking about that with our community. But in the meantime, there is definitely a runway here over the next few months as Bitcoin finds new all-time highs. We get into an alt season. We get Coinbase listing some tier one exchanges listing some of these blue chip meme coins. They get absolutely two, three, five, some of them 10x. We're going to see some big moves. But always just remember, take the profits out when you're catching those big moves because it can get, as the market moves, if the market takes a correction, eventually it will correct. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Meme coins will probably be one of the first ones to kind of take that major correction.
Yep, you said it. Yeah, we felt that in the world of NFTs, and then meme coins probably no different. But definitely, there's some greener pastures in the terms of in terms of meme coins of where you should play. But we'll go over that more of our private community because that's something that's we dive deeper into more so than a rundown.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's pretty much everything for today. Joe, as always, appreciate chopping it up with you. Definitely make sure you like, you subscribe, you check out our other rundown videos. We're releasing these every single week. And if you want to learn more about Web3, meme coins, NFTs, we talk about our private community. The link's down below. Very easy to join. We'd love to have you in there.